News, folks. Telltale is looking for another company to hire its staff to finish The Walking Dead, sources say. Now, with this being said, they could have just told their fucking workers, their staff, this before just laying them off without any damn warning. This is just poor management at this damn point, just for doing that, in my opinion. Now, after 2 weeks after Telltale Games laid off 90% of its damn staff, the fate of the 4 episodes of the final season of the popular Walking Dead series remains in question. Now, I also heard as I'm recording this video, I heard that they're about nearly done with the third episode, so we should be getting that on time. Third episode is probably gonna be around November 6th, November 8th, around that time, if we're lucky. But behind closed doors, the company continues to work on a deal that would provide for the third and fourth episodes to be finished by another company using former Telltale employees, according to two people familiar with the negotiation. And the third episode is already nearly finished, just as I just said. Those people said. Now, with that being said, and since these are just by people these are done by two people familiar with the negotiation, I find that very hilarious, and here's why. You would think those two people familiar with the negotiation of these last 2 episodes would have already negotiated, with the 90% of the staff that was laid off, without any severance or any warning about, I don't know, about Telltale just dropping them like dead fucking flies. So this is great news, but it's also very fucking sad because Telltale could have gave their staff, the up and up for 411 without everyone just being shocked and awe. Now they're gonna use the remaining Telltale employees, ship them to another company so that way they can finish the last 2 episodes, and the third one's nearly finished. So you might as well just say just one more episode to go. But anyway, Telltale had already publicly said that it was working with multiple potential partners, and quote, to complete and release episodes 3 and 4 after the studio laid off approximately 98% of its employees with no warning or severance in late September on September 24th. Telltale said, though, through its company Twitter account, that despite the majority studio closure that had just occurred, episode 2 would release a schedule the next day, and that it was working to finish the remaining 2. This triggered some anger among industry observers, raising questions over Telltale's decision to outsource development of a game whose staff had just been left out in the cold. And I agree, man, because how the hell are you gonna fire 90% of your damn people, believe 25 working employees, and then try to outsource those possible remaining employees to another company, hoping that they can finish the last 2 damn episodes of a game-winning series? Now, it just raises a lot of questions, man. And it's not some anger. It's most definitely fucking anger. But anyway, the deal is more nuanced than originally assumed. However, according to two people with knowledge of ongoing discussions, see, I'm gonna keep nitpicking with this, with these two people that have knowledge of these quote unquote discussions, because where were they when they needed to discuss the 90% of people being late to fuck off. But I'm gonna leave that alone and just finish this damn article without bursting a bubble. But anyway, ongoing discussions, speaking anonymously, because they were not authorized to talk about the negotiations. Oh, now were these negotiations spur of the moment, or were these negotiations just so happened to just pop in their damn head one day? But anyway, they characterized the deals taking shape as Telltale handing off the final 2 episodes to a separate company, which would hire former Telltale employees on a contract basis to finish the game. Okay, here's this. How about this? How about the separate company that's gonna hire the former Telltale employees on a contract basis, just hire them aside from the Walking Dead series? That way those people can have jobs and feed their families. You know what I mean? But it would be that company's name on the paychecks, one said, and not both claimed. A case of Telltale getting additional funds and spending it on development rather than paying severance to recently paid off employees. Okay, so to the company that are now going to house these former Telltale employees, I hope that separate company pays the Telltale employees that they need and all their severance and everything when they finish the game, and actually hire those people so another way that they can have jobs after the fact, because this shit is silly. Okay, so those two people went on to say that episode 3 of The Walking Dead final season is essentially finished. In fact, they said it was scheduled for a ratings review, which traditionally happens in the final stages of a game's development prior to being sent for platform certification and to the Entertainment Software Ratings Board. I always wondered what the ESRB stood for, so I'm glad I finally figured that out. On the very day the mass layoffs occurred. Okay, so let's re- so let's so let's rewind here. So the third episode was essentially finished on the very day that the 90% of the staff were laid off. But you couldn't have just told them that. You couldn't have just warned them, given the 411, saying, "Hey guys, guess what? You guys are going to a separate company because I don't know how to pay for this company to stay afloat. Don't worry about your severance. The separate company will help you guys with that. No questions asked." That's how it should have been done instead of doing the way Telltale did. That was some dirty ass shit. But anyway, all it still needed was a couple of weeks of polish. Oh, okay. So here's my question. And all those employees, all they needed was a couple of weeks of notice. I have a heads up, and severance. But like I said before, this is just my case in point. I hope this separate company that they finish the game at hires them and pays them what's owed. I seriously do. Because after they finish these episodes, I hope everyone goes out and gets that game again. And that way they can get paid for it. Because this is ridiculous, like I said. Anyway, in closing, episode 4 was also on its way, those people said, with the first round of voice work for the main characters already recorded, and a first review of a playable version planned for sometime around the end of September. And I quote, "The script was strong and the whole team was excited about how we were finishing out Pim's story." End quote. One former developer told Kotaku. Episode 3 was originally planned to release on November 16 and episode 4 on December 18. As for who exactly might return to finish the series, one former developer told Kotaku it would ideally be the entire original team, but it could also be as few as it could absolutely required to get the remaining episodes out the door, as negotiations drag on. However, it's unclear who will still be available as ex-employees race to find new jobs. Many of those who were laid off last month, who had no warning and did not receive any form of severance payment, don't have the luxury of sitting around waiting to see if they eventually get a phone call. One person familiar with the deal said they originally expected to hear about an initial agreement by Friday, September 28th. This was also the soft deadline Telltale had provided in a statement to Kotaku after pulling the already completed episodes of the series final season from store shelves. Okay, so again, I quote, "We're currently still working to find a way to hand off production of episodes 3 and 4 so that the season can be completed," a spokesperson for the company said at the time. That spokesperson has since also been laid off. Oh, wow. Wow. Man, it's like Telltale is literally short changing their workers, man. Because that's some fucked up shit. How can you be a spokesperson and then suddenly not be their spokesperson? Anyway, and I quote again: "The outcome of those efforts will determine when and how the final season returns to stores." Okay, we hope to have a firm announcement before the end of the week. End quote. Okay, great. And like I said, I hope the remaining employees that at the separate company get picked up and have a job soon. I want all the team at Telltale that used to work for Telltale to have all jobs, hopefully at the separate company, and finish up the series and go on with their lives and help sustain their family stability financially and then some. I really feel like they are more than deserving of that. Seriously. Telltale did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the new timeline for a potential deal and what it might look like. One former developer stressed to Kotaku that the longer the talks take, the higher the risk the people who had been making The Walking Dead wouldn't be around to finish it. Alright, well, hope they wrap these damn conversations up quick, man. I really do. But this has been your boy, Share Speaks, man. Let me know what you guys think about this, man. To make some sense out of this, man. One love.